big time Big 12 basketball on ESPN. Silva and Rocco to jump it, and it's won by TCU. Here is Olivia Miles controlling across the timeline to begin. She'll be guarded by Sydney Benali, one of BYU's freshman guards, to open up.
And right away we see on that switch, they're going to try to isolate that mismatch down low with Suarez, 6'3" against Benali.
Suarez out to Miles. 9 on the shot clock. Miles hesitates, crossover dribble to the right junction, and good. Olivia Miles knocks down her first shot. The Horned Frogs starting five led by Miles. She'll be joined by Donovan Hunter, Marta Suarez, Clara Silva, and Maddie Shear. Delaney Gibb controlling for BYU. Three-pointer is on the way, misses to the left side, rebounded by Shear. And the Cougars counter with Benali, Gibb, Rocco, Hudgens, and Brinley Cannon. TCU with the early 2-0 lead. Little left-handed floater is wild and an air ball. Gibb looking to run. She'll now give to Cannon, who fakes the three into the lane. Floater short on the front of the rim. Rocco had a hand on the potential offensive rebound, but here comes Shear. She will control and look for some help. Find it in Miles.
Cannon settling for that little jumper right there. Get all the way to the rim, be physical, bring that contact.
How about the pass from Miles? So subtle, great vision, 4-0 TCU.
And we're likely going to see that all night long, where she just has excellent court vision. The placement of the ball for her 6'7" center inside Silva. Watch her just thread the needle right here. She is anticipating what the defense is going to do with Rocco helping out. And this is something they work in every single day, that pick and roll action with Silva diving to the basket.
Hunter with some pressure from Benali. Shear. BYU content to switch screens on the perimeter. Miles working around Rocco, finds a lane. Left it short. The way she controls the ball, she reminds me of Magic Johnson, Kristen.
That's a great comparison. Obviously not the size. You see BYU out in transition. Transition offense for BYU is going to be huge, whether on a make or a made basket, so they can get out and get easier looks rather than settle in the half-court set.
BYU after that make, and an important one early in this game with some full court pressure. Miles flips it over to Silva, but a foul is called before that shot goes up from Silva. And here's a look at BYU's first assist and make.
Well, you see how quickly Benali gets that ball up the floor. Hudgens running wide on the wing and finishing in transition. Mark Campbell told us, we'll welcome the transition, but it's imperative that we get back and match up. We have to be able to match up in transition. Right now, defensively, BYU is switching everything. They have that capability with Rocco, who's very versatile at 6'3", 6'4", but Olivia Miles is taking advantage of that mismatch off the bounce.
The ball poked away from Suarez. Cannon secures it, and the Cougars trying to take advantage after a TCU turnover. Benali, nice dish to Rocco, but she's too strong off the glass.
Body control as her momentum was taking her to the right, and she was clearly open 1 second earlier.
Hudgens knocks down that pass. TCU able to recollect, and the three is up and good. Marta Suarez, 6'3", graduate transfer from Tennessee, knocks it down.
And the one player you don't want to leave open, averaging 44% clip beyond 3 points. She is a versatile Swiss Army knife for Coach Campbell.
Start stop for Delaney Gibb, and a good move for BYU star to get to the hoop. It's a 7-4 TCU lead, 6:50 to play in the opening quarter.
Well, Gibbs' ability to get to the basket just takes some pressure off BYU offensively, because she can break down the defense and open it up.
And another wide open look for Suarez. Again, the one player on the floor, you absolutely cannot leave that open.
That's a huge miscue. You have to be able to execute personnel and know where she's at on the court. She just knocked one down.
Benali will try to answer for three, and Sydney Benali does just that.
Boy, I love this freshman out of New Mexico. She was a two-time Gatorade Player of the Year in 24 and 25, and boy, she just plays much older and mature than her years.
And another turnover as Suarez tried to step through the double team. Benali has Rocco, and Rocco lost it on the way up. A turnover given back to TCU.
A lot of Rocco does a really good job running, but she has to be able to keep that body control when she gets bumped a little by Suarez, who stood her ground. I'm interested now to see as BYU brings in their talented freshmen to back up Rocco and Youssef and how physical she can be in there if she can really maintain that physicality.
Mark Campbell in his 3rd season, all he's done is win 68 of the 84 games he's coached in thus far. And you talk to him for about 3 minutes and you understand why so many elite level players are happy to go to Fort Worth and play for him. Miles behind the back dribble, runs into a few Cougars. Hamlin into the game for BYU, running the break, missed the layup, but the putback is good.
Well, Bola Youssef didn't only take out the TCU player coming in there skying for that rebound, she took out her own teammate, Olivia Hamlin, and that's the physicality you need from her off the bench.
Well, BYU wanted a 5-second call there, didn't get it, screaming for it at the officials.
Lee Kamard, all applause for his team and the effort and urgency that they're playing with right now.
10-9, Coach Kamard said the team's been locked in at practice this week, sensing the opportunity that awaits them with TCU in Provo. Miles.
What a pass.
Great pass inside. And there you see the size advantage of Clara Silva out of Portugal. Easy score for the Horned Frogs. It's 12-9. That ends the mini BYU run.
You can see why Olivia Miles is so elite and why she's one of the top playmakers in the country, because she just analyzes what the defense does and then takes the easy route.
Hudgens lost the ball, loose on the floor. Bola Youssef, aggressive play to get it back for BYU. Benali has the ball poked away. It'll stay with BYU. 4 seconds on the shot clock and 4:31 to play in a fast-paced first quarter. The 8th-ranked
program, which is just remarkable.
Bola Youssef with 4 seconds left on the shot clock had to go right to work against Kennedy Basham. Advantage Basham on the block shot. And the shot clock expires. Horned Frogs basketball. It's 12-9 TCU. Hunter will break the BYU pressure and give it back to Miles. Step back calmly into a 3. That one rims off. Delaney Gibb wanting to run, and Miles with the anticipation. Interception and delivery with the reverse.
She makes it look easy. Like a safety out there and then finishing through the 2 players, cutting back.
Olivia Hamlin for BYU. Right back to work and is fouled going to the basket.
You just see the anticipation, getting in the passing lanes, waiting for that lofty pass and then finishing with the reverse layup and letting the fans know about it. But Miles already, she got 4 points, 3 assists, just doing it all for this team. I've actually been super impressed with both clubs coming in. You never know how you're going to respond after the Christmas break, right? And how rusty you're going to be. But through the first 5 minutes of play, both teams shooting over 50% and shooting the ball well. TCU right now at 67%.
Great point. Both teams 11-day break. Offensive rebound on the second missed free throw by BYU, and Cannon's foot is on the sideline. So tough turnover for BYU right there after they thought they had a second opportunity.
The turnover you don't want, but allows BYU to set up their full court pressure, all for full court, 94 feet. BYU's going to do this the entire game.
5 turnovers for the Cougars here in the first quarter, 3 for TCU. Hamlin all over Hunter. Miles.
You see BYU trying to ice the screen. They're trying to force her away from the screen, corral her defensively.
How about that pass?
Woo.
Good grief. She finds the open Taylor Bigby for 3.
Doesn't even phase her. She allows the big to get out of the pick and roll situation, allows them to roll and take the defense, and then identifying that the help defender sagging off on the roll, weak side is open.
Gibb looking for some help. That ball was knocked into the backcourt by TCU and Sheffy. Gibb again. As we approach 3 to play in the first quarter, will settle for a 3 and promptly knock it down.
Well, they're helping on Gibb. When she gets 2 feet in the paint, they're doubling her, making sure she doesn't get anything easy or pinching in if they have to. But Gibb that time just setting her feet, little dribble, pull up to really get into a rhythm on her 3-point shot. My goodness.
Another long skip pass to an open shooter, and TCU continues to shoot lights out early in this game. It's Sheffy.
I have yet to see a passer with the ability that Olivia Miles has to see the floor and find the open player on time, right? It's a timing pass.
5 first-quarter assists for Olivia Miles. Bola Youssef. Tough move in the post to get around the length of Basham, and she scores off the glass.
Bola Youssef comes in and immediately makes an impact. She's averaging 6 points, 6.2 rebounds per game, and playing about 13, 14 minutes a game, making her presence known early, and she has the advantage off the bounce.
Off the foot of Miles, into the post to Basham. Good ball movement. And this time a miss from Bigby.
Anything BYU can do to make other players make a play outside of Olivia Miles, that's what they want to do defensively.
Delaney Gibb goes to work with her left hand. Floats it over the outstretched hand of the bigs from TCU and off the glass for 2 more. It's 20-17. TCU throwing haymakers early in this game. BYU punching right back.
It's been an efficient shooting for both of these teams early. You can tell that they're dialed in both sides of the floor. A lot on stake here.
The Horned Frogs 8 for 12 to begin. BYU 7 for 12. Miles steps back into a 3. Olivia Miles, 7 points and 5 assists in the opening 9 minutes. 23-17. Gibb from the junction. That one, an air ball. And out to TCU.
And watch her just set her feet and a little hesitation, cross back, just to create the space, right? To get the space from her defender to get a good look at its shot. And she is so smooth. And right now, Miles leading TCU with those 7 points on 3 of 5 shooting, 1 for 2 from the outside. She's going to get a much needed break. Although I don't think she needs it.
I believe the phrase that I keep hearing when it comes to Olivia Miles as pertains to basketball is she's nice with it. Indeed. Indeed. We have seen that tonight. She's off the floor for now. Bigby has a 3 rim off. Benali does a good job to save that outlet pass and keep it inbounds. Rokel is fouled as that rotation was a little late coming over from Maddie Shear.
It's so important for that weak side too. It was Olivia Hamlin to pull lower on the 3-point line. She's got to occupy that defender so they don't help on the roll. And Benali does a really good job keeping the ball high to feed it to her post.
Lara Rokel at the line for 2 out of Hanover, Germany. Transfer from Charleston. The senior's first free throw is long. She'll have 1 more. It was a shooting foul. Rokel for the second. And that one, a friendly bounce and roll down in. 23-18. Shot clock and game clock almost identical as we close out the first quarter. Gibb on Sheffy. TCU will have to release the basketball with at least 1.5 seconds on the game clock. Open 3 is missed. Benali with the rebound. With 5 seconds, no look to Gibb. With 3, 2, and 1 to Benali to beat the buzzer. In and out.
BYU with an excellent look though, and Delaney Gibb going to work. She created that opportunity for her freshman point guard.
Games. BYU basketball to open up the second quarter. Benali with a skip pass. Open shooter is Barber. 3 is no good. And Miles in control. If you're wondering, Olivia Miles 9 triple-doubles, tied for 3rd most ever in NCAA women's basketball history, trailing only legendary Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark.
Elite company that she's finding herself in. She'll get more this year. You can mark my words. She's going to find a way to get more just because of how she plays and the freedom that Mark Campbell allows her to play with in the pick and roll action.
How about the footwork there from Marta Suarez, working around 2 BYU defenders in the paint and scores off the glass.
You can see why she's so effective in the paint, also shooting 44% from the outside, but great footwork.
Benali answers back. And an assist to Delaney Gibb, who got to the hoop. Off her feet in a bit of trouble, but knows her shooter is at the top of the key, and she knocks it down, 25-21.
I think BYU needs to be around 10 three-point makes in this game to really contest and have a chance in this one. They've got to shoot the three ball well.
3 for 6 from the three-point line are the Cougars, as they seek to at least that 10 number Kristen just pointed out. Gibb wanted another. That one misses to the right side. And Suarez will try another three. That one is short. Rebound tracked down by Hudgens, and a quick handoff to Gibb.
BYU's doing a really good job on the boards, though, and eliminating that extra possession, rather, keeping that defensive stop.
Benali, baseline. Sheer defending. Rokel driving on Silva, and a delayed whistle, but a whistle nonetheless. Rokel will go back to the free throw line for BYU.
You see Delaney Gibb doing a good job attacking off the bounce. She sucks the defense in, everybody collapsing on her, and then a wide open freshman in Sydney Benali. And Benali now 2 for 3 from distance. Just a moment ago, we saw Rokel put the ball on the floor and go right at Silva. And that's exactly what she needs to do. Just match her physicality and go at her. Don't worry about getting blocked.
First free throw is good from Lara Rokel. 2 for 3 on the game. She's a 64% free throw shooter entering the contest, and she gets both here. 2-point game.
BYU +5 on the boards, as we mentioned. They do have 4 offensive rebounds, but only 2 second chance points.
And a quick whistle on Mariah Hudgens of BYU as she pushes Shear. BYU still showing that full court pressure.
That's just the second team foul on BYU in this game. Just one called in the first quarter. As you mentioned, the officials doing a really good job just letting them play and allowing the physicality. Both teams welcome that. If you're a coach, you want to be able to play and not have as many whistles.
Shear back to Suarez, cycle to Miles. Suarez will get it back and try a long three. That is an air ball, and the BYU fans are going to let her hear about it.
Olivia Hamlin does a really good job closing out to Suarez and then recognizing Miles catching the ball. Also, I got to get over there and close out as well, but she did a good job hustling to contest that three-point shot.
Hudgens. She'll try a three for the lead. No good. And the rebound collected by Miles. Second rebound for Olivia Miles. Picked up by BYU's Olivia Hamlin. Donovan Hunter. Silva. Again, great footwork when she gets to the block.
Such a talented sophomore and a high ceiling. Coach Campbell told she's going to be a pro one day and just continues to blossom every single game, get better and better, and did a really good job with that secondary move.
Benali. Opts for Hamlin. Now the entry pass to Youssef. Bola Youssef. And it's poked away and then taken away by Clara Silva. Hunter. Suarez fakes the three, and Suarez shuffled her feet as she got into the paint. Turnover by TCU, back to BYU. The Horned Frogs lead by 4 thanks to this most recent bucket by Silva.
She gets her up and off of her feet and then does a really good job finishing on the left side of the basket. And, you know, you see a big that's 6'7". You don't see it very often where they really can play outside defensively, come out, help you on that pick and roll screen action to kind of jump the screen, but also be so good inside with their footwork and finishing around the rim.
Gibb gets it right back from Youssef. Tough pass inside. And another turnover by BYU, their 7th of the game.
So Silva comes out, Basham comes in. You don't lack the size, the rim protection. Basham, one of the best shot blockers in the game.
Kristen, as you pointed out earlier, BYU relying heavily on switching everything across the perimeter, and Bola Youssef matched up with Miles there, pokes it out of bounds.
But with Rocole and Yusuf, they have the ability to move their feet, right? Ideally, BYU does not want to get Rocole on Olivia Miles. But if they have to, they can switch it if their guard gets stuck. You see that time, Hamlin getting through.
Hamlin with the steal. And Miles got a hand on it. Out of bounds, it'll stay BYU basketball.
Absolutely no fear in Hamlin to just go right at Olivia Miles. I love the fire and the fearlessness that Olivia Hamlin plays with for BYU.
Gibb for Hudgens. Mariah Hudgens, and that is dribbled off her foot. Turnover number 8 for BYU, and that is a point of concern for Lee Camard. Said you just can't turn the ball over excessively against a team like this because they will immediately turn it into points.
And Hudgens wanted Lee to review this, but they're not going to. I think he quickly identified that's not one we're going to review as it was too close.
And a travel is forced by Delaney Gibbs, so no review necessary. BYU earns it right back.
Well, BYU's done a really good job of continuing this full court pressure and just putting some pressure onto TCU, not only to just go against that pressure, but the shot clock goes down. So you're working a little bit quicker in the offense. And they forced 7 turnovers now by the Horned Frogs.
Gibb matched up with Sheffy. And Delaney Gibb doesn't get the roll this time. Rebounded by Basham.
I like the decision by Gibb, though, to take her in the paint. That's a good look. Not quite the finish she wanted, but a good look. BYU's done a pretty good job identifying those mismatches.
An 8th turnover by TCU. Gibb in transition. How about that finish? She wanted an and one. Lee Camard asking for the same thing. And BYU back to within 2.
Lee Camard incredibly fired up. You gotta love the fight from Delaney Gibb. Comes away with the turnover going coast to coast.
Sheffy missed the layup. Rocole saves it inbounds after the rebound. The Cougars looking to run. Gibb behind the back dribble into the paint, and she is going to be called for a travel. Well, the pace has certainly impacted.
50th in opponent points per game in scoring, 17th in opponent field goal percent, and then the 3-point percent, which really gets you because they extend their defense. They're 11th right now. There have been 6 games this season where they have allowed only under 20% from their opponent from 3-point. And this is a big difference from last season where they really didn't have the personnel to extend defensively. Oh, that's a double dribble. They missed it big time.
BYU does get the stop off the missed 3. BYU's bench incensed collectively after the no call.
Lee Camard's a pretty even kill guy, but sometimes he gets really fired up when some of those calls don't go his way.
Gibb for the lead. Back iron no good. Opposite side rebound by Veronica Sheffy. Sheffy harassed by Hudgens on the baseline. Nearly turned it over. Gets to Miles. Miles. And last touch by BYU. Horned Frogs basketball.
I like seeing Brindley Cannon on Olivia Miles. She's quick enough to stay in front of her and use her length at 6'1". We saw right there just enough to disrupt Miles at the rim.
Well, each team has turned it over 4 times in the last 4.5 minutes. They're going to review this to make sure it is TCU basketball and not BYU possession.
The call on the floor is TCU's ball. BYU's appealing the ruling.
Coach's appeal by BYU and Lee Camard.
And BYU will get the ball back. That's a great angle of it as Basham, with her height, touched that ball last on the board.
There's one more look, the reverse angle. And it looks like it last touched the fingertip, yeah, Kristen, as you pointed out, of Kennedy Basham.
This will be a better angle right here. You'll see she just got that height right, and the height this time doesn't pay in their favor as her left hand touches that ball. So this is a great challenge by Lee Camard.
3:41 to play in the second quarter. We are under coach's appeal right now from BYU. And based on the multiple angles we have showed you, it appears BYU should take over possession here. one more look. And yeah, clearly it looks like Basham's finger is the last to touch that.
After review, TCU number 0 is the last to cause the ball to go out of bounds. That call is going to be overturned. It will be BYU's ball on the end line with a 30-second shot clock. Since the challenge is successful, they will not be charged a 30-second timeout.
So a great appeal from Kamard, and that's why he's got so many assistants and grad assistants sitting behind him to very quickly say, yes, this is a good appeal.
He also has 4,000 fans in the Marriott Center
he does.
urging him to do so.
They're never wrong, right? Great crowd. I mean, absolutely great turnout on New Year's Eve.
Gibb again to try and get BYU the lead. That one just long. Suarez. Bounce pass inside, tough angle. And there is a turnover grabbed by Rokel. Benali and BYU looking to run. Rokel filling the lane. And Gibb will turn it back over. And a foul? No, a travel is called. So Gibb turned it over but stayed with the play and forces a travel by Veronica Sheffy.
Well, Delaney Gibb also created that turnover on the other end as she anticipated going into the big. And you see just a tough pass for Rokel, but Gibb stays with it right here. Cuts her off right into that sideline and forcing the travel. Now the 10th turnover for TCU. BYU also with 10 giveaways.
We approach 3 minutes to play in the first half. Hudgens. Both teams have gone cold since a red-hot first quarter. Gibbs' pass is deflected. Hudgens forces up a desperation 3 to try and beat the shot clock, and that basically misses the backboard as well.
She had to shoot that with her left hand, and not quite the accuracy as with her right. Great defensive stand, though. That was a good possession for TCU.
Hunter, one bounce to Miles. They have Silva inside over Rokel. Good defensive pressure by Lara Rokel.
Rokel really pushed her off of the block and kept her out of position to get a good angle at the basket without fouling.
Benali whips it over to Barber for 3. That too no good from the right wing. So BYU now 3 of 11 from the three-point line. TCU 5 of 12. It remains a 2-point Horned Frogs lead. Miles to Sheffy, open for 3. And at some point, TCU is going to start knocking down shots again. This is a team that shoots the ball extremely well.
Especially if Olivia Miles can get 2 feet in the paint off the bounce, because then the defense has to make a choice. That's where Barber pinched in, leaving Sheffy plenty of time to get a 3-point shot up.
Assist number 6 for Miles. Gibb.
Now the movement is late for BYU. They have to be on the move off the ball when she puts the ball on the floor.
Hudgens. Olivia Miles. Access denied.
She looked like Kennedy Basham in there. Look at this anticipation. Keeps her body off. And she's jawing in the crowd. I absolutely love it. One of the most competitive players in the game.
3 seconds on the shot clock. BYU has to go quickly. Benali, good look. And that graced the rim, so they won't stop play. Sheffy wants another 3. She's fouled on the closeout. Hudgens late getting there. 3 free throws for Veronica Sheffy.
How about Taylor Bigby putting the ball on the deck, quickly recognizing that the ball was still live. It did graze the rim, as you mentioned, and she goes coast to coast and just makes a beautiful pass to Sheffy. There's so many playmakers on this TCU team. Yes, we focus a lot on Olivia Miles, and rightly so, but every single player out there, aside from Silva, really, are going to put the ball on the deck and can create off the bounce.
The left-handed Sheffy knocks in the first free throw, led San Diego State in scoring a season ago at 11.2 per game. Perfect on the second free throw as well. She'll have one more. A reminder, our next broadcast features red-hot Arizona State and their women's basketball program in Provo to take on this BYU team, 4 Eastern on ESPN+. Saturday, January 3rd, and then 8th-ranked TCU makes the short drive up Interstate 15 to face Utah at 9 Eastern, also on ESPN+. TCU has extended their lead to 8 thanks to 6 consecutive points from Sheffy. Where's the offense going to come from for BYU?
You see not enough movement. Watch away from the ball. No players moving, slashing to the rim.
Hamlin almost banked it in.
And BYU settling.
Miles has her shot blocked by Cambry Barber. Leaves it short on the follow jumper. Ball is loose.
And they're going to call it off of TCU.
And now Mark Campbell saying that's our ball. Will he appeal?
Now, Sydney Benali hustled to try to keep that ball alive, thinking it was off BYU.
No appeal from Mark Campbell. BYU basketball. Cougars trying to solve their offensive woes here, and Delaney Gibb does so. Hard-earned bucket in the paint.
And I think that's exactly what you got to see from her. Turn the corner and go right at Silva downhill.
Third team foul on BYU right there as Miles is bumped. So no bonus for the Horned Frogs. 24.6 seconds to play before halftime.
Not sure the intensity could get any higher in this game, but I think with Olivia Miles' block a few moments ago and John at the crowd, I think the crowd is more invested now.
Some clarification at the scorers table. And now the all clear. Donovan Hunter to inbound. Oregon State transfer.
TCU just shooting 27% in this quarter and really have cooled off. Both teams really, as you mentioned, BYU at 21% in the quarter.
They do put 20 seconds on the shot clock, so BYU will have an opportunity to get the ball back with a few seconds before halftime. Miles picked up near the timeline by Hamlin, gives to Silva. Silva being pressured by Youssef. Handoff to Miles. Silva in the paint, loses it, steal by BYU. And Hamlin gives it to Cannon. 3 at the buzzer. And that's how the first half ends, on the desperation miss by Brinley Cannon. Hot from the three-point line, but couldn't hold on, and now they get number 8 TCU. Suarez, her 3 is just long. Hudgens has a rebound for BYU, her 3rd.
A BYU, huge advantage on the boards, +6. And this is a TCU team that come in 3rd, averaging 32.5 defensive rebounds per game, but they just have 14 boards in this game. That's an area I'm sure that was an emphasis with Mark Campbell.
Benali sends back to Hudgens. Up and under shot is left short. Hunter with the rebound, wants to push to Shear. Maddie Shear creating some contact and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Well, Shear taking advantage when Rocco, the taller defender, was late to help. She was able to turn that corner right off the pick and roll. And really, you're seeing TCU so good at making decisions in that pick and roll action because they've seen everything, right? They've seen where they're doubling you off that pick and roll action. They've seen where they're helping protect. There's BYU iced in the first half.
First free throw from Shear is good. Her first point of the game. She'll have one more, and that too is good. TCU extends their lead to 8. And BYU had multiple opportunities late in the first half to take a lead when the Horned Frogs had a hard time holding on to the basketball, but BYU could not take advantage.
Well, this is where BYU, Spencer, cannot have empty possessions. And I think that's, to your point, you have to do a much better job taking care of the ball. Look at the pass from Gibb.
Cannon, the easiest 2 that she'll score in this game, I'm guessing.
And that's movement without the basketball that we were just talking about. BYU needs more off-the-ball movement, slashes, basket cuts to create those opportunities.
Gibb with her 4th assist of the game. Suarez cycle to Miles, open 3, no. Offensive rebound by Hunter. Miles will try it again. Another good look. That too is no good. Good box up by Hudgens. Cannon collects the rebound. She's a little bit slow up the court.
Ankle. So Cannon rolled her ankle on roll call as they were double teaming that pick and roll, the dribbler.
Step back three from Gibb is wild. Rokel trying to flip it over to Hudgens. It goes out of bounds and a turnover to TCU. They're going to take Cannon out of the game and have that ankle looked at quickly.
You see the movement from Brindley Cannon off the ball, just the dive behind the defense. And where they were getting into a sticky situation is too many white jerseys were watching Gibb in the first half go to work, put the ball on the floor, and then she was too easy to defend because you can help.
Miles, beautiful move to the hoop, and she flips it up and in off the glass.
Excellent read. If BYU is going to bring Rokel over and try to double team Miles, she can put the ball on the floor and get to the basket.
And Delaney Gibb wanted an alley-oop in search of Rokel. And Lotta trying to save it in is on the baseline. So 2 quick turnovers for BYU here early in the second half.
There you see Miles. She has the advantage down that lane line of just putting the ball on the floor against Rokel. If she's not going to come out and fully protect, Miles getting all the way to the rim.
And a foul on the sideline. Bola Yusuf bumps Hunter. Or are they going to say that's BYU basketball?
I think a little confusion by the officials on what was called, but I think just out of bounds off BYU. Now they're going to review this.
I initially thought with the contact it was going to be a foul on Yusuf. Maybe it was just out of bounds and it stays with TCU. They'll take a look while we take a break. 7:35 to play in the third quarter. 8th-ranked TCU with an 8-point lead.
They didn't know I'm unstoppable. I see the crowd and they rockable. Anything I can do, you can do overall. They can just follow the swagness. It take a whole lot of practice. I wanna stop at this dream, wanna come up, I run up, I see it and grab it. I got my eye on the victory.
.35 to play in the third quarter, and the question at hand as we went to timeout was this off of TCU and a turnover to BYU? And it looks like that ball is dribbled on the sideline. We'll hear from the officials now.
After review, number 4 for TCU was the last to touch the ball before it went out of bounds. Therefore, it will be BYU's ball on the sideline with a 30-second shot clock. BYU will not be charged a timeout because their appeal is successful.
Lee Camard and the coach's appeal now 2 for 2.
Yeah, successful. And those are critical moments where you get that possession. Good defense from Bola to kind of contain Hunter on that dribble drive off the pick and roll.
12th turnover by TCU, a team that averages 13.5 per game. They're well above their usual pace right now, and Benali gets a much-needed and, frankly, rare bucket for BYU over the last 15 minutes of this game.
And it's really been Benali and Gibb with the offense that combined 19 points of the 29, or excuse me, 31 now.
Hamlin, steal from Suarez, hands it off to Yusuf. No, they're going to call a jump ball, and BYU will let their collective voices of displeasure be heard.
If you're BYU, this is what you got to do. You got to get after it right now and create these extra opportunities, these possessions. Fans don't like it, but you could see Suarez.
Okay, well, yeah. That seems like a fair jump ball situation. Her hand's still on the ball.
The 50-50 balls, the hustle plays, diving on the floor, that's what BYU needs. And they've showcased that they can do that. They have some gritty players, especially these 5 freshmen on this team, 4 of which play a lot of minutes for BYU. Hamlin out there as a freshman, Sid Benali right now, and Yusuf. So 3 freshmen on the court right now for Coach Lee Camart.
6-point TCU lead. Benali and BYU trying to cut into that.
Oh, that's a tough pass.
Benali and BYU turn it back over. 14th turnover of the game by BYU to TCU's 13.
It was the right read, but just a tough pass when you're bouncing it behind Bolo Yusuf. Keep that ball high. Maybe wrap it around the post defender that came out to help.
Sheffy back to Hunter. Sheffy on the left angle, bouncing inside for Silva, and Silva is held and fouled while that pass is being entered in. Bolo Yusuf will pick up the personal foul. 6:32 to play in the third quarter.
And TCU just 12 points in the paint, and a lot of what they do is off the dribble drive to get their points in the paint, with Miles scoring at the rim or other players. But Silva that time trying to be a big presence as she was going right at Bolo Yusuf.
Suarez from Miles. 3 is no good again, and Silva last touches that basketball out to BYU.
So TCU is open this quarter 0 for 4 in this half from 3-point. Even though they're getting the looks, that was a decent look from Suarez.
The Horned Frogs now 6 of 17 from the 3-point line to BYU's 3 of 14 from beyond the arc. Benali. Well, she says, I'll see your 3 of 14 from 3.
You teed that one up nicely for the freshman. She has been electric from the outside. 3 for 5 from distance now. Look at the hustle defensively.
3-point game. Intensity has been ratcheted up. Sheffy guarded by Barber. Hunter. 4 on the shot clock. Sheffy. A lot of contact and a foul. Or Sheffy going right at Bolo Yusuf. There's a look at the 3 just before that foul call that sends Sheffy to the line.
You see the closeout, and
you know, if Yusuf doesn't leave her feet, that's probably not a foul.
well, and she's okay to leave her feet as long as she stays vertical, right? But what the official didn't like is that she shifted to the right side just a little bit, and that's where the contact came with the body. That's exactly what the official signaled when she made the call. And the crowd likes that she's missing these free throws.
Sheffy misses the first.
The first miss at the free throw line for TCU, as now they're 6 for 7.
That's her first miss of the season. She does make 1 of 2. Horned Frogs in front by 4, 38-34. On the curl, Benali. Step through. Oh, what a tough shot by Sydney Benali. And she's barking back a little bit at TCU.
She's a very capable scorer. This is her 5th game in double figures. She's a pass-first type point guard, but boy, have they needed her offense. And
13 points, Kristen, on 5 of 7 shooting for Sydney Benali, the true freshman. Miles, some fancy dribbling. Yusuf pokes it away, and the BYU fans on their feet to applaud the effort. Everything difficult for TCU on defense right now with BYU's intensity up.
They're doing a really good job protecting now that pick and roll action and just trying to corral and contain Olivia Miles.
Miles trying to quiet the crowd and does. Olivia Miles.
A little extra
12
there.
points now.
Shushing the crowd as well, getting fired up. Well, she is an absolute competitor.
Gibb driving on Sheffy, has an angle. And that should be BYU basketball. It is. Last touched by Sheffy. We are at the under 5.
Held scoreless here in the third quarter. They've really needed her. But TCU's done a really good job locking in on her, making sure she doesn't get any easy looks, making her uncomfortable before the catch. But the best way to combat that is get herself to the free throw line, put the ball on the floor and draw contact.
Gibbs' first free throw is perfect. Delaney now with 12 points for BYU. Trails only Sydney Benali with 13. Olivia Miles leading TCU with 12. And Gibb makes both. 13 points for Gibb, 13 for Benali. BYU back within 3 at 41-38. Gibb extending the pressure on Marta Suarez.
Suarez, a very capable dribbler, ball handler, but that's what BYU wants. Take it out of Miles' hands.
Shear for 3, no good. Youssef battling for the rebound and is fouled. Basham and Suarez swarming Youssef.
Bola Youssef, a true freshman, going at some veterans in there, and you see how frustrated she is because she's just getting hammered. The call came just a little bit late. But boy, she's making a difference when she gets in there on the court, just really attacking the glass, creating extra possessions that time, picking up the defensive board.
Sydney Benali, guarded by Miles, off the screen from Youssef. To Barber, spinning in the lane. Cambry Barber, rims off. Youssef throws it up. Almost went in, rebounded by Silva.
That's what a 6'7" frame will do to your shot, is not only block your shot, but alter it, as she really has to try to find a way to get it up to the rim.
And the Cougars keeping it close, no doubt, but can they climb the mountain and take a lead? Offensive rebound by Silva off the miss from Bigby. And it results in a big make at the free throw line by Donovan Hunter.
And that was massive. Just the third offensive rebound by TCU. They haven't had many where they create those extra possessions.
Gibb for 3, no good. Cold shooting continues. What a pass from Miles ahead. And on the foul, Bigby will shoot 2.
Off the miss, TCU looking to push very quickly, and this is something that Miles is so good at in transition. Keeps her head on a swivel, placing that ball perfectly for Bigby. And Gibbs gonna draw the contact. And Miles in this game, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. She's 5 of 12 from the floor. Just does everything, fills that stat sheet. And every play, really, game-impacting plays.
First free throw from Bigby. Nothing but net. And just like that, TCU extends the lead back out to 6.
Such an advantage to have a player like Taylor Bigby. She's really a 6 starter. Was last year and this year, can play 2 through 4 for TCU. Versatile player.
5 points for Bigby, 45-38. 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. TCU, to their credit, haven't been involved in many close games this season. BYU trying to get it again to that weird category so they can put some real pressure on the Horned Frogs.
And this is a TCU team that averages 87.5 points per game and scoring just 45. I mean, both teams over 75 a game. It's been a lockdown defensive battle for sure.
Shot clock winding down. Gibb got to release the basketball. And on the floater, it's an air ball. So a shot clock violation. Gives it back to the Horned Frogs. Great defense from TCU.
Every jersey out there for TCU is dialed in on what Delaney Gibb is doing, and they're helping, they're rotating, communicating, just making it tough for Gibb to get any easy look at the basket.
Just the second game back for Gibb after sitting out 8 games with a lower leg injury. Admittedly, she said, I got some rust to work off. So dealing with that a little bit, TCU trying to add to their 7-point lead.
Good execution on the monster.
Open look for Bigby to beat the shot clock, no good. And hit out of bounds by Suarez. BYU basketball, just over 2 to play in the third quarter. Gibb, a little gassed, is going to get a break before the fourth quarter.
BYU needs a much-needed basket with Gibb going to the bench. Who's going to step up here as we've gone 2.5 minutes without BYU scoring a field goal?
23-18 game after the first quarter, but TCU has scored 10 and 12 in the next 2 quarters. BYU 9 and 11.
Well, in this quarter, it's been the Sid Benali show as she's really come up big. Another one, can't get it to go.
Barber had her hands on the ball for a moment.
Benali's
jostled away, and here comes Miles.
Benali's got 7 points in this quarter.
What? I mean,
my goodness.
A no-look beauty from Olivia Miles, rather. And she's got her 7th assist. TCU up by 9.
Lee Kamard consensus is going to get out of hand pretty quickly as Miles has completely controlled this game. Now watch her just thread this right to her big. A little bit of a no-look. Silva does a really good job, her and Basham, of just positioning off that pick and roll and rolling hard to the basket, making themselves available. And you can see.
You think she enjoys playing in front of a road crowd?
There are several fans that have been jawing back at her out there on the court, and it just fires her up. What the crowd doesn't realize is she gets more and more dialed in, fired up to just prove how good she is, put her team on her back, and come away with a win here on the road.
Miles with 12 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. And very much in position to put together what would be a 4th consecutive triple-double. 9th player in NCAA women's history with 1,500 points, 700 assists, and 700-plus rebounds. Benali to Cannon. Cannon driving on Suarez. Good move. Too strong off the glass. The lid remains on the bucket for BYU in large part. Miles crossover. Sets up her big. Nearly an and one. A minute even to play on the foul.
Well,
6-0 run for TCU.
Every look TCU's getting are easy looks. So the shots, high percentage shots off the pick and roll. Silva's able to just kind of keep that ball high and go right up. BYU, their shots are very contested, tough. You can sense a difference defensively in how TCU has come out in this second half.
First free throw is missed by Silva. 50% free throw shooter entering the game, and she makes 1 of 2. So right on par with her free throw average. TCU with a game-high 10-point lead. Hamlin. No good. Put back by Barber from point-blank range, and she leaves that short.
Hamlin just has not been able to find any rhythm offensively. Just 1 point in this game, and she's the 2nd leading scorer for this BYU team coming in. They have needed her offense, and it hasn't been there.
Silva doubled in the post. Skip pass. Bigby around another BYU defender, which is Cannon, and scores. The lead is now at 12. TCU stepping on the gas to close out the third quarter.
They're executing at a high clip offensively, getting stops on the defensive end, where BYU is going empty possession after empty possession offensively.
Danger zone for the Cougars as we approach the fourth quarter. Benali. And gets it. Massive bucket by Sydney Benali. She's got a game-high 15 points. I said it was 3 consecutive triple-doubles, but she only managed a mere 29 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists against Kansas State. And TCU opens up the fourth quarter with a nice offensive set and made 3, championed by Miles. BYU answers back with Olivia Hamlin in transition.
Coach Kamara very quickly to Hudgens saying, hey, you can't leave her. You cannot leave that weak side so much. Even though they want to help on the pick and roll action, they cannot leave because Miles is so good on that skip pass.
Bigby into Rokel, and a blocking foul is called on Benali, who was chasing defensively.
A moment ago, as we highlight Olivia Miles, and really just the incredible high IQ. And Lee Kamard, when we spoke with him for BYU, he acknowledged she's probably the best playmaker I've seen in the women's game. High praise from Coach Kamard.
Bigby, good on the first free throw. 11-point TCU lead. This to make it 12. And she's got it.
TCU with 5 players with at least 5 points in this game. Balanced offensively. They moved the basketball well. 12 assists on 18 made field goals.
Well, critical turnover there as the ball skips through the hands of Hamlin.
16th giveaway now for BYU.
Miles, no good. Silva looked like she was tied up in the post.
It should have been a jump ball.
They cycle it back out. Silva with another offensive rebound. Suarez, straightaway three, no good. Well, BYU dodges a couple of bullets there on that possession. Hudgens has Benali, corner three, in and out. Battle for the rebound, and Cannon is going to be whistled for the foul, reaching in on Silva.
Silva making her presence known on the glass on the opposite side. Offensively creating extra opportunities. Yes, it didn't convert into points, but you just continue to put pressure on the defense to make them have to defend longer in the shot clock. And the defense is securing it and drawing the foul. I mean, she is just so vital to what they do. And this is something that Mark Campbell, traditionally, he loves the center, the taller big. Sedona Prince is hard to replace, the center that he lost a year ago, but he is so high on Silva, the sophomore.
A couple of notes to keep in mind for TCU, because this is a team that scores a ton. Their lowest point total of the season was 68 in a win against Richmond. They're at 54 make it right now. Silva.
Boy, that's a lot of contact. They're letting them play, and we've mentioned this several times, but Silva trying to go up strong. She was kind of out of position as well, underneath the backboard a little bit. And BYU's sleeping right now.
Oh, and the Horned Frogs make them pay. It's Hunter from the left corner for three. It is a 15-point lead for TCU.
8th assist now for Miles as she caught BYU just asleep. Hudgens wasn't paying attention to where that ball was taken out of bounds and then quickly into the corner.
Benali thought about the three for a moment, waits for the screen from Rokel.
You see TCU mixing it up now. Now they're icing. That first half, they had a hard hedge on that pick and roll action.
Benali to answer. Does. Sydney Benali with 18 points.
Ties her career high, which she had against Virginia Tech.
Miles around Hamlin into the lane. Quick little flip over to Silva, and Silva is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line.
And we've talked a lot about where Miles sits in terms of the history books and where she sits in ranks to Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark, but just so many similarities to those players who are just elite company. Mark Campbell coaching Sabrina Ionescu. He knows how to use Olivia Miles' skill set in that pick and roll and open up the court to allow her to go to work.
First free throw rattles out and then back in for Silva. Again, a 50% free throw shooter on the season. She's now 14 of 27 overall. And how about that? Line drive and a friendly bounce.
Call that the shooter's touch. Doesn't matter how it goes in, it goes in. I like
Bounced
Silva's
about
game.
7 feet in the air and then dropped right through.
11 points, 7 rebounds now, and 3 assists for Silva, the sophomore center.
Gibb to Yusuf. Ball is loose.
Just the rim protection by TCU is elite. And we saw that shot go up and just kind of fly over the backboard almost, because you're altering your shot when you get in there amongst Silva with her 6'7" frame.
Miles gets it back from Bigby, 7 on the shot clock. Skip pass, 3, touched every part of the rim, then rolled off, ripped away by Suarez on the offensive glass. Miles traveled.
Miles doesn't like it, but I think this is a good call by the official because she didn't put the ball down at the same time she took her first step to get by the defender.
Gibb around the screen from Yusuf. Bounces to Yusuf, who dribbles it off her leg. Hamlin looking for some help. Over to Gibb. Delaney Gibb into a 3. Not a great look.
They have done a much better job on Gibb, and when they switch Suarez, that size at 6'3", disruptive. You saw right there on the perimeter, altering that three-point shot. A rush shot by Gibb.
Gibb now 1 of 8 from the three-point line, 5 of 15 shooting overall. BYU 5 of 21 from the three-point line. Kristen, you said you felt like they had to make 10 to be in contention to win this game, and Miles, another no-look time, her 9th assist.
Boy, what a gift for Silva to play with a player like Miles. You're going to get that ball whenever you want.
Poked away by Big B, and she is rewarded in transition. The lead extends to 18. Kristen.
They've held BYU to just 18 here in the second half, and we saw right there just why. I mean, first in scoring defense, first in defensive field goal percent, and third in defensive rebounds also that wasn't on there, averaging 32.5. They've done a much better job on the glass in the second half as well.
We can make a couple of fair statements about these teams in this game. One, BYU is a good basketball team. TCU is an elite basketball team and legit Final Four good. Delaney Gibb to Cambry Barber. And the threes continue to misfire for BYU. The Cougars now 5 of 22 from beyond the arc.
The perimeter is really where you hang with teams like this. If you can shoot at a high clip, put threes in, that's where you keep up, and BYU just hasn't been able to.
Miles nearing another triple-double, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists.
1 point, 1 rebound away, or excuse me, 1 assist, 1 rebound away. You got 4 players in double figures for TCU, along with 7 points from Hunter and 8 from Suarez. Just too much offensive balance.
Miles, step back 3 is an air ball. Well, the BYU fans, again, will let her hear it, but
she's not phased. Not phased at all. Bring
clearly does not care.
Bring it on, she says. Dialed right back in defensively.
Gibb. Offensive rebound by Barber off the miss. Cannon wide open 3, and that is an air ball, and she knew it as soon as it came off of her hand.
The one area that BYU's really struggled with this season is their three-point shooting. They get up 27 a game, but they have only come in at 30% from distance.
Big B to Miles. Around Gibb. This would be her 10th assist if it goes in. No good on the three-point attempt. Rebound by Cannon, and a handoff to Benali. Sydney Benali bounces to Yusuf. Guarded by Silva. Bola Yusuf. No good. And a breakout layup for Donovan Hunter. 20-point TCU lead.
Well, Hunter doesn't get talked about enough. This is a player that's just steady Eddie and really just shows up every single day. Part of the backbone for this team, her and Shear.
TCU has now outscored BYU 15-5 in the fourth quarter. Again, this is what elite teams do. You just pull away late. Gibb, floater, no good.
And you can see the type of shots BYU's getting. They're just throwing it up there. They're really, the shot selection goes down, and there you see right into transition as TCU keeps their foot on the gas pedal and just continues to execute.
Assist number 10. Miles got a high five from one of the BYU fans on the way down. Like, look, respect, tip of the cap. I get it.
So there you go, her 10th triple-double of her career with those 11 points, 10 assists, 12 points. Just remarkable how much she impacts the game. You have to respect everything she does out there on the court. She's a true competitor. Laughing it up now with fans on the front row.
10 triple-doubles in a star-studded career. All-American, no doubt about it.
She'll earn her 4th All-American honors this season, and she's a 3-time All-American, and really in a different role. And Coach Campbell was telling us, you know, she's in a role where she's been surrounded by great players. Not that she's not at TCU, but you had WNBA players with Westbeld and Suarez. There's some other players at Notre Dame that she played with, and now she's just in a different role where she's asked to score a little bit more. She's typically a pass-first type point guard, but averaging 19 points a game coming into this contest.
You want to talk about having a Final Four resume and how you stack up. TCU's got the superstar, they've got the shooting, They've got the size and they've got the experience, Kristen. Suarez over to Silva. Hamlin wanted an offensive foul. Whistles stay quiet. 69-46. TCU's lead at 23. Benali, free throw line jumper. No good. Scramble for the loose ball. Possession arrow in BYU's favor.
This is a great measuring stick for this BYU club that's young, they're gritty. They continue to get better and better, and that they need to learn from this. And Coach Kamard has had the luxury of these freshmen coming right in and making an impact early and not skipping a beat. But you can learn a lot of growth from a game like this.
BYU 1 for the last 10 from the field. No field goals in the last 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
And rushing offensively. We talked about the shot selection, and how many times have we seen where they just completely missed the rim?
Miles is bumped and fouled. 4th team foul on BYU, so TCU will inbound. One more foul puts the Horned Frogs in the 2-shot bonus for the remainder of the game. TCU now out shooting BYU 46% to 31%. The Cougars have really gone ice cold since early in the second quarter. Suarez for 3, no good. Barber grabs the rebound.
Rocco does a nice job keeping Silva off the glass that time, boxing her out.
Hamlin swatted by Silva. Miles tried to save it in, dribbles it on the baseline. 1:56 to play in this game. TCU going to move to 14-0 on the season, 2-0 in Big 12 play. BYU will drop to 12-2 and 1-1. Massive game for BYU on Saturday as they try and collect after just their second loss when they welcome Arizona State, who has been a pleasant surprise in NCAA women's basketball.
How about 15-0 with a win at Utah today, narrowly escaping a loss. That was a tight one, and getting it done on the road, and incredible to see Arizona State. Now, I mean, Molly Miller, brand new.
She can coach.
Man, the turnaround from last season. You got 4 brand new coaches in the league, including Lee Kamard for BYU.
Rokel, swatted by Basham.
Basham says no thank you. We just saw a moment ago as Silva, her first block of the game as well, but they just continue to protect the rim and alter shots.
Yeah, what a homestand for BYU here, hosting number 8 TCU at 13-0, and then you got to follow it up against 15-0 Arizona State. A foul is called on the putback. Suarez will go to the free throw line. Here's the latest block shot by Kennedy Basham. It has been lockdown defense for TCU in the second half.
A 6'7" frame keeps her body off. The no foul there as she's able to just locate the ball. Last season finished 6th in all of Division I basketball with 83 total blocks and 2.6 average per game.
Olivia Miles checks out to an ovation from her few TCU supporters and frankly from a good group of BYU fans who recognize her efforts in tonight's game.
Yeah, how can you not? Now sitting in 3rd solely amongst some elite company. And look at her. I think they're just letting her know she had a triple-double.
Benali has had a nice night for BYU with 18 points. You mentioned it, Kristen, tying her career high in what will be a fantastic career. Wanted a new career high. Rokel with the putback. Quick shot over Basham.
Probably one of the easier looks she's had where she was able to get a little bit of space on that rebound.
You know, most will see this box score and say, yeah, TCU rolled, all good. This game was a fight through early in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, BYU kept it close, but it's been a 21-8 advantage here in the 4th frame for TCU.
Hamlin, short from the free throw line. And Bigby is fouled by Hamlin. That will put TCU on the free throw line. 2-shot bonus with the 5+ fouls committed in an individual quarter.
Well, Hamlin just 1 for 7, and we talked about she's that second leading scorer for BYU. The true freshman comes in at 13.5 points per game, and a little hesitant, you can tell, as You know, you're playing against some of these big dogs, the elite team in TCU defensively, and makes you think twice about the shots that you're taking and hesitating on your shot.
Bigby's first free throw is good. 72-48, now a 22-8 advantage in the fourth quarter for the Horned Frogs. One more for Bigby. That one rims off. Rokel with the rebound.
BYU's made just one of their last 14 attempts. After shooting about 50% in the first half, they have really struggled here in the second half.
Well, and that one make was Rokel's putback that we saw just a minute ago. Cougars had their chances, especially in the second and third quarter, within 2, within 3 opportunities to make shots. And when you make that shot and you climb the mountain, you take a lead on your home floor, then you really put an elite opponent in a unique headspace. But to TCU's credit, he just wouldn't allow it to happen. Their defense dynamite once again as Rokel misses both free throws. Shot clock is off, and